The image of Colonel Sanders flashes before your eyes as you fall asleep. He must have helped you get home. How does he know where I live? Also, for this stream, because I am committed to everything, I really like this menu music. The fuck? I have my very own Kentucky Fried Chicken. Lying in bed, you stare at the ceiling, thinking about everything that awaits you at the prestigious University of the Cooking School, Academy for Learning. UCSAL. Who will be there? What will you cook? What should you wear? Time begins to fly by and you find your imagination getting away from you. I need to take this seriously. I'm Chipotle. I better make sure to arrive prepared for the first day. You bust through your morning checklist. Teeth brushed, hair combed, pits deodorized, chicken eaten. Nothing can stop you now. You confidently grab a biscuit and head off to class. Just what you needed to get your blood flowing. Here comes your lifelong best friend forever, Miriam. Wow. Good morning, Chipotle. Are you excited for the first day of the rest of our lives? Well, actually, because I sure am excited, a little nervous. Okay, a lot nervous. It's just that this morning I made breakfast for myself, but, well, when I ate it, I couldn't taste any love in the food. What if I'm no good? What if I fail? Well. Classic Miriam. Raised by her MasterChef parents, she's always held herself to a very high standard. Okay. Ever since we were little babies playing together and you rescued me from that quicksand box, it's been clear to me that you're the most loving, caring person I know. You're going to do great. What the hell is a quicksand box? What kids are playing in a quicksand box is what I want to know. But with the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning's famous 3-day only semesters, I'm afraid of being left behind and never catching up. Before you can get another word out, you're rudely interrupted when someone smacks your books and custom-engraved measuring spoons out of your hands and onto the ground. It's Ashley. Ashley, right? Your arch rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help but be filled with jealousy. She can get anything she wants and she knows it. Oh, she kind of thick though. Forget the colonel, get her? Low-key, she kind of thick though. Hey, Ashley. Oh, I didn't see you there, chicken shins. You leave Chipotle shins alone. They are perfectly normal shins. You've never been sure what their arrangement is, but as long as you've known them, Ashley and Van Van have been just as close as you and Miriam, but substantially more devious. I can't believe the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning would ever allow people like you to attend us as students. I know, right? You think they just hand over... Oh wait, shit, I didn't do her voice. It's hard to do voices when you're eating. I know, right? You think they just hand us our diplomas by now. Spacebar. Or maybe hire us on as professors. You amateurs could learn a lot from us. I'm trying to do a Swedish accent, but I don't think it's working. With the first day of school about to start, there's just not time to properly tell these two off. So you resist the urge. No, I want to tell people off. What are you talking about? Bark, 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 bark. Y'all can read. Who is this unreasonably cute pup, and why is he in our culinary class? You must be Sprinkles, head instructor and CEO of UCSAL. What? A cute dog is our professor? This is the best school ever. I guess only a dog's nose is capable of picking up all the nuances of fine dining. Sure, that's one way to explain it. Out of nowhere, wind begins to rush around you as a swirl of cherry blossom petals fill the air inside the classroom. I'm Chewy. Someone cool the window. And then he walks in. You're immediately swept up in the aura of this new student and his remarkable goatee. Who knew anyone could be so handsome? Time stands still. Oh my god. How do you do like a anime main male protagonist voice? Please call me Colonel. It's the Colonel! It's Colonel Sanders! Colonel Sanders. A hushed murmur rolls through the classroom as Colonel Sanders walks down the aisle of desks. Suddenly the room is sweltering. Oh shit. As everyone rushes to claim their favorite seats, you're left standing at the front of the room. Only two options remain. Hey Chipotle, there's still a seat here. It seems that no one has claimed the seat next to me if you're interested. I'm gonna sit next to Colonel Sanders. In honor of the new semester, I've prepared something special to share with everyone for lunch. That must be the smell I smelled. Indeed, that smell? You hold your breath, waiting to see what food this mysterious student has created. You've heard he's very talented, but were the rumors true? Is this? Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head. Its contents glimmer in the light. KFC, 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 KFC. Alright, I think now is a good time as any to introduce our first KFC fact. Number 1. In order to keep the KFC original recipe a secret, there is a company that mixes the first half of the 11 spices, then ship it to McCormick, who adds the second half to the mix before sending it back to KFC. They don't mess around with the 11 herbs and spices. I only have one option. Why are you giving me the choice? Colonel Sanders smiles ever so softly as you approach. He stops what he is doing and allows you to break the silence. Oh, you're approaching me? Colonel, I wondered if I could talk to you for a second. Anything for a fellow chef. What exactly was on that chicken? How bold to come out and ask. Oh my god, dude, look at your fucking food! It's an idea I had for a new combination of flavors that will make me fortune and establish my legacy for all time as I open a chain of highly successful fried chicken restaurants. No big deal. It's just you and me here talking. I can keep a secret. In fact, I've got some of my own that I'd be willing to trade. What's the rush? The semester is only getting started. We've got 2 more whole days to get to know each other. Oh, 2 days to get to know each other? Okay. Okay, time for another KFC fact. Number 2. Colonel Sanders made surprise visits to KFC restaurants. If dissatisfied with the food, he threw it to the floor while cursing out the employees. Wow, what a hot dude. Naturally, Miriam looks over to you, but unable to control yourself, you pounce on Colonel Sanders. Ooh woo? Hey, Colonel, would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? A team of 2, that is? Me and you, if that wasn't clear. Oh no, Miriam! Want to be my partner? Sure, Chipotle. I'll prepare our station. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Which dish do you suggest to your partner? Steak tartare seems easy enough. It's fancy. You don't even need to cook it. Using octopus. Mashed potatoes and gravy, right? We gotta go mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh, look, he liked it, I think. I've always been something of a down-home chef. I was thinking we could make something warm, inviting, comforting. Maybe mashed potatoes and gravy? I couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a cold look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. I'll go get the potatoes. Oh my god! No, please, let me. Picking perfect produce is a passion of mine. Sanders' heart is my business, and you'd better keep your fingers off my man. Bitch! Come on, let's go. Let's go right now. Did someone call for me? No, jeez, Van Van. While I'm over here crushing Chipotle's dreams, you're supposed to be taking care of our classwork. That was the deal, remember? Colonel Sanders returns, arms full of peeled potatoes. He tosses them into boiling water. What is this music? Yeah, wait, why did boss music suddenly just... Gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes. The result looks spectacular. Granny would be very proud. Oh, he poured the gravy all over the mashed potatoes. Yes, Colonel. Oh my god! Colonel Sanders holds a spork out to you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. The two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that small moment, all of the madness and pressure in this crazy world stops. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric. Time stands still. If you love something, set it free. Oh, it's time for KFC Fact Number 3. This is one that I already know and can really attest to. KFC Fact Number 3. KFC is so popular for Christmas dinner in Japan that people have to pre-order their dinners weeks in advance or wait in lines for hours to get their chicken. This is a real thing. In Japan, KFC is what they eat on for Christmas. Like, their Christmas dinner is KFC. They don't really celebrate Christmas like we do because they're not a Christian country, or they don't have a lot of Christians, you know, whatever, influences. So they Americanize and, like, take the Western sort of symbolisms for Christmas and they celebrate it. So they eat the fried chicken because that's like a Christmas or American thing, and they also have Christmas cakes, which are really good. The number 4 KFC fact. Number 4. In 2009, KFC made an offer to cities in the US to fix their potholes for free as long as they could add refreshed by KFC on top of it. So, just so you know. Stand back and admire his glory. Colonel Sanders' horse is truly a thing of beauty. Without ever acknowledging that he's being watched, he does a short horse dance before dismounting with a flourish. Then he slaps the beautiful creature gently on its rear, sending it running free into the countryside. You are so struck by the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home. You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beaut you have. What a horseful beaut you have. Dang it, that's what I just said. Miriam attempts to cover for you. Oh, Chipotle just gets really nervous around people they like. What? This is not helping. They got food poisoning and were up all night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it. She gives you a wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying. Did you see his face? Right here? And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Bazawab. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. What's happening, dude? Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Okay. Time for KFC fact number 5. Number 5. There's a deaf KFC in India, Pakistan, and Egypt made for and handled by deaf people. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know that this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena, at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competitive cook-off. Dude, you can almost see your ass. Step up and tell him you're on. No, I'm gonna say you stop wasting everyone's time. Is everything a competition with you two? Yes. Yes. Well, not with me. I'm on a personal journey to learn, to love. To learn to love? Sure, why not? But definitely not to constantly battle. Yeah, stop getting your genres crossed. Don't you have some portable monsters to capture or something? I need to eat if I'm going to have the energy to sustain my education and pursue my dreams of being a master chef. How are any of us supposed to get anywhere if we're constantly fending off challenges from every know-it-all with an apron? Besides, I already brought my own lunch. Chipotle, you should have it. It will give you the energy you need to succeed. Miriam reaches out and presses a gift to you. My special grilled cheese and tomato soup with chocolate milk to wash it down and a tartlet for dessert. Bro, what the fuck is this? It only takes you about 5 seconds to eat Miriam's tiny food, but it's just what you needed for motivation. You know what? I've learned enough for today. Let's battle. If it's a battle you want, it's a battle you'll get. My bestie can best the best of them. Best believe it. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now is my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. Wait! If the... No! No! What Verde? No! Where's it Celsius? I tried to cheat. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. Oh, 11 herbs and spices. That's right, you might not know all the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Now that you've got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Okay, you must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Bro. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. Oh my god, I'm actually nervous. When you were a child, your father told you never to forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time. So where does it come from? A small town? Sure, this is your shot and you're not going to miss it. This isn't even what's happening? Oh! You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. Sizzling. What? Bark, 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 bark. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Chipotle. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonful of gravies will it take to... What? I didn't even have time to read the question. With only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? You should... Wait, was that just his abs? Did I see his abs just now? Colonel Sand... Wedding vows! Bark, bark! You're really struggling to keep up. Plating... At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. Make up the time you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes! There is an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand in the mixer to rescue your dough. Chipotle, no! But you're not fast enough. Your hand gets stuck? It immediately gets crushed by the quickly spinning beaters? There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match? Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. No! I've disappointed the Colonel! What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark, bark. Dude, she's got, like, chicken things in her thing. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Oh, that's too bad. And here I am with my completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. Bark, 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 bark. Before we continue, KFC Fact Number 6. In Quebec, Canada, KFC is called PFK, Poulet Frit Kentucky, which is French for Kentucky Fried Chicken, whereas in France, it is still called KFC. Okay, since we kind of did, I'm gonna do number 1, number 7. Kentucky Fried Fact. Kentucky Fried Fact number 7. KFC used to have a spin-off restaurant called Kentucky Roast Beef, which was in Bellevue, Washington. I only wonder why Kentucky Roast Beef didn't. KRB, not as good as KFC. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Chipotle, together I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss? Oh? A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Okay, wait. KFC Fact 8. In 2005, a 7-year-old girl was left paralyzed and severely brain damaged from eating KFC chicken. Yikes. That was not a great fact. I don't know. So she got like food poisoning from it and it just turned into a really bad infection. That was not a fun fact. Let's do another Kentucky Fried Fact. Number 9. Kentucky Fried Chicken rebranded to KFC to avoid paying licensing fees to the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Cool! Alright, stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him? I'm gonna reveal it to him. Cards on the table. Here you go, Colonel Sanders. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until it's just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping? No! He said get comfortable. It's time to take off your clothes and get ready. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Oh my god, y'all, that was really intense. I don't know if you guys felt the sparks there, but I think it's time for another Kentucky Fried Fact. Number 10. We're on number 10. China has more KFC outlets than the United States. Don't ask me how many. Oh, I'll tell you how many, actually. KFC has 4,563 stores, and the United States has 4,491. So it's like a little less than 100 difference, but China has more. Just so you know. You confess. Oh, he liked it! I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door? But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Chipotle. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber? What do we talk about? Less talking, more doing. Which gives us time for another Kentucky Fried Fact. Number 11. Baku, Azerbaijan has the largest KFC restaurant in the world. Kentucky Fried Fact. Number 12. The first KFC was opened in Salt Lake City, Utah. Wait, what? The first KFC was opened in Utah? Let's give another one. Number 13, Kentucky Fried Fact. When KFC first opened up in China, their slogan, "Finger lickin' good," was translated in Chinese as "Eat your fingers off." Nice. Thank you. Very cool. Let me give you a Kentucky Fried Fact. Number 14. In 2016, KFC released edible nail polishes in Hong Kong. They came in hot and spicy and original flavor. This is it. The location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off Van Van, the supposed madman, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Chipotle's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish come second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, it's time for Kentucky Fried Fact number 15. Number 15. Mother's Day is the busiest day of the year for KFC. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Alright. Your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Oh my god! You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Ignore it? No, we can't ignore it because then... We can't ignore it because I'm gonna fess up about it. I think this... From what I know about the Colonel, I've only known him for all of 2 days in this dating sim. I know that he likes honesty and modesty. Oh, look, he loved that. You see that? Okay, before we get to the moment of truth, we're going to give you the Kentucky Fried Fact number 16. The KFC Double Down, do you guys remember that? The KFC Double Down was introduced as an April Fool's Day joke, but was kept on the menu because it had such a positive response. Wow. Kind of looks like curry a little bit. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spell book out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? Ooh, you've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? Okay, I would cast a spell for the, meme of it all, but I really want to get into the Colonel's pants, okay? And earlier in this dating sim, he said, sometimes the easy way is not really the easy way, or whatever. So I'm going to do it the hard way, because he said that, and I want to impress him. And also, since I'm pretty sure we're almost to the end of this dating sim, Kentucky Fried Fact number 17. KFC installed a huge portrait of Colonel Sanders in an uninhabited desert near Area 51, which can only be seen by satellite. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. Oh, shit! I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been prepping their entire lives for... Oh shit! The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything, except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were towering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Chipotle. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. We're going Super Saiyan. Ora, 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 ora! All you've managed to make is mac and cheese. And the time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But, Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting? If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union. Bark, bark, bark! With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. I've made tender udon noodles in a savory soup. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Yes, chef. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Yes, sprinkles, and some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, and it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. Bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Chipotle, for helping me to believe in myself. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark, bark. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup, topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. Bark, 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 bark. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It is very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something, Chipotle? I told you, it's a display piece. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark, bark. Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were all having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating, School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark! Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me, either. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. Bark, bark? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. And it's time for Kentucky Fried Fact number 18. In Australia, KFC is used to trap feral cats. Fun fact. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 and bark, 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 bark. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. Oh, Colonel Sanders arrives. Okay, before he arrives, it's Kentucky Fried Fact Number 19. KFC's signature bucket came to be a suggestion of Dave Thomas, the same man who would go on to found fast food chain Wendy's. Y'all remember? Y'all know Wendy's? If you go to Wendy's, there's like the Dave burger or something. So that's a cool fun fact. He came up with the, or he suggested it. That's cool. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Oh my god, wait, why don't you look? Put your apron back on. Chipotle, what are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me what are the qualities you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, I don't know, a spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day. Oh, God. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Chipotle. How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself. Fuck you! I gave you the idea for the coleslaw, you asshole! But who will help you run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at a pastry school. Oh, my dear Chipotle, I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end. I can't believe this asshole didn't think I could be a chef with him. We fell in love, but I'm not his business partner. Are you supposed to fall in love and be his business partner? Oh, since we've ended it, here's the Kentucky Fried Fun Fact number 20, the final Kentucky Fried Fact that I have for you guys. Number 20. KFC's famous slogan, "It's finger lickin' good," originated from a KFC's manager retorting to a customer complaining about the actor licking his fingers in a commercial. So, take that. They didn't let me bang him. I couldn't bang him. There was no option to have sex with him. You go to his house one night, and you guys just talk about your feelings. Like, how shitty is that? I just want to fucking bang the Colonel. I want to clap those cheeks, and I couldn't do it. Because it's, you know, sponsored by KFC, whatever. Just grow up. Let me bang him. Clap them cheeks. Clap them chicken drumsticks. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see his chicken fingers. God damn, his chicken tender. I couldn't do it, though.